What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. I hope everybody out there has awesome weather like I have this week. It's going to be 40 degrees in Victoria, which means I'm going to be going outside doing a whole bunch of outdoor workouts. I love working out when it's super hot. I guess it's one of the reasons I thrived in Thailand. But guys, I want to talk to you today about shadow boxing with or without gloves. This is a very interesting conversation because I have my thoughts on what you should do, but find me a high-level pro boxer who shadow boxes with gloves on. I haven't seen it. All of them, they're out there, they're doing that, they have their hand wraps on, and I want to break down which one I think you guys should be doing at different stages of your fight career or different stages of just you competing in the sport. Now, let's start off with what I do. Years and years ago, when I was an amateur, everybody else was shadow boxing without gloves. But as I started to get closer and closer to realizing I was going to compete, I went, why in the world am I shadow boxing without gloves when I'm going to be fighting with gloves? Why should I not get used to having my hands tight to my head, getting the correct position? And then bit by bit, as I got more and more into shadow boxing with gloves, I realized that it's also fantastic for the shoulders because I would have shoulder burnout sometimes in the fights. This was before I had all the shoulder conditioning drills I do now. So what I used to do actually is I would shadow box every time I would do my rounds with 16-ounce gloves. I would plant my hands up to my head really high, never let them drop down here, and I would do all my work really fast. Basically, it's like a 1 pound weight. And then if I ever took the gloves off or ever put on 8 or 10 ounce, whatever these ones are, these are 10s, they felt so light, so fantastic. My hands would just be flying. Now, the advantage, I suppose, to not having the gloves on, I mean, it's great to have the gloves on. Why would you not, almost? But when you see all the high-level pro boxers, they, or myself too, I now shadow box without the gloves and maybe just hand wraps on. So why do we do this? Well, number one, we are already doing loads of conditioning drills for the shoulders. I'm no longer worried about my shoulders burning out in a fight. It is not going to happen. So putting on those gloves for the rounds thinking, oh, this is going to help me in my fight, it's not a concern. Number two, you have to think about what are you doing with your shadow boxing round? Is it at the end of your lesson or your training session where you're going really hard for burn down? Then sure, put the gloves on. Or is it at the beginning where you're just sort of calculated, you're just getting warmed up, you're getting your body going? And if that's the case, which is what I do now, I do my rounds of skipping and then I go to shadow. If it's just a time for you to basically mentally prep for your fight, think about everything you've been drilling. Maybe you've been drilling a check hook. So like, okay, I'm jabbing, moving around, and then they come at me and bang, hitting stuff. So if that's the case, which is more for what I do, more what the high-level guys do, then it makes a lot of sense to not worry about whether gloves are on or off. So, quick breakdown here. If you are beginner level, I would suggest put the gloves on. It's going to help with your shoulders. It's going to help with your defense. You can practice proper defense with the gloves on. If you're intermediate, I would even say yes, continue with the gloves on. But when you hit advanced, I don't see a massive benefit anymore because the shoulders are conditioned and you know how to block a punch. That's not a concern. Shadow boxing is just more time to really go over the entire game plan before you start your actual hard training session. So this is just my opinion, guys, on shadow boxing. But really, if you're going to take it as a workout, why not throw the gloves on, work on proper defense, really burn those shoulders down. Like I said, I put on 16-ounce gloves all the time before I started, and my shadow boxing back then was pretty much just a workout. I didn't really have the wherewithal or the understanding to be like, okay, shadow boxing is calculated. I'm thinking, I'm moving, I'm imagining an opponent. It was just me going, just punch, 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 burn down, burn down. If you're doing that, throw the gloves on, get the extra shoulder sizzle. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this sort of on-the-fly episode, just one go here. If you did, give it a like. If you have not already, get subscribed. Train hard, guys, and I'll see you back here soon for another video.